If you are someone who wants to give back from your business or from yourself, and you think that you're at a level that you can't, that can present some problems for you. It can really delay your personal growth. And what I mean by that is giving helps you develop that sense of empathy, that sense of perspective, that sense of feeling like you have a spot in the universe, feeling like you're making a difference. And by delaying giving, you're delaying developing that side of you, developing that feeling of community, that feeling of like you belong or that you're making a difference. Welcome to the Process to Profit podcast, where I dig into the key strategies that build successful service-based businesses. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to scale, I'll share practical techniques to help you overcome overwhelm, boost your income, and fall in love with your business again. Let's get your business working for you. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode. Today we're talking about how you don't have to be successful to wait to give back. And I think that this trips up a lot of new entrepreneurs because, and you're probably like, Lauren, why does this have to do anything with systems in your business? But it's something that I felt really passionate about, so I wanted to talk about it. And I think a lot of new entrepreneurs start their businesses because they want to help people and they want to give back to their communities, give back to, causes that are important to them, but they feel like they have to be at a certain level of success before they do that. So I think it also holds a lot of entrepreneurs back from giving and, not really incorporating it into their business. So I wanted to talk about that today because it is the season of giving. And it's important for us to appreciate where we've come from, appreciate our communities, appreciate the people around us. And if it's important to you, you need to understand sort of how you can still give back, even if you're not feeling successful, or even if you don't feel like you've made it to a certain level of income and you want to wait until you do that to give back. So we're going to talk through all of that today and talk about how you can give back in ways that maybe don't affect your bottom line if it's a big concern for you, and sort of other things that you can consider. So like I was saying, a lot of new entrepreneurs and even experienced entrepreneurs feel like they have to be at a certain level of monetary financial success before they can give back. They assume that that's only something that really successful entrepreneurs do. They think that just because they can only give a little or they can't give as much as they would like, that it's not as meaningful and it's not as important. And this mindset is really prevalent in new business owners, especially, but also experienced business owners, because people are afraid of what others are going to think. They're afraid that, oh, if I only give $20, then people, they're going to judge me and they're going to say, you supposedly have a successful business. Why are you only giving $20? And they're afraid that it's not going to be enough, that it's not going to make a big enough impact, and it's not going to be worth the time and the investment, the monetary investment that they're making. And there's a lot of pressure in society and in online businesses, especially, I feel like, for achieving that success, whatever that looks like, and really being at the top of your game and sort of being that guru that everyone goes to. And I hate that word, but you don't have to be there to give back to your community. And the reality is you may never get there. Either it's not what you want, or you may change businesses, or that may be not what you want your business to look like, where you're the go-to expert for every little thing in your niche. So it's important for you to understand that you can give back at any level. And giving back doesn't even have to be monetary. It can be in other ways, which we're going to get into. And so it's important for you to realize that you get what you put out into the universe, and the universe rewards people who give back, even when you're feeling a mindset of lack, even when you're not feeling like you're in abundance right now. It's important to give back for your own sort of self, mental state, and for if it's important to you. I want to be clear about this. It's not important to everyone to give back to their community, to the causes that they care about. And that's okay. If you are just really heads down in building your business, if you have a really busy family life, if you, really can't focus on giving back, then it's okay. And I know that's probably a controversial thing to say, that it's okay not to give back, but we all have so much going on in our lives. We just have, especially as business owners, and I know a lot of you are parents, or still full-time employed and trying to build a business on the side. There's still just a lot going on. And so if you can't take the time to consciously think about who you want to support, how you want to support them, either giving time or money, then it's okay. It's really okay. So I'm not here to guilt anyone or shame anyone for feeling like they haven't even thought about giving back or they haven't even thought about what that means for them or if they want to do that as part of their business. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody has their own things going on, so that's my permission right there. If you have not thought about it yet, don't worry about it. However, if you are someone who started your business because you want to give back, or you're listening to this episode and you're like, well, I never really thought about it, but now I'm thinking about it. So what can I do? So we're going to talk through some of the different options for, helping out in your community, giving back, even if you can't necessarily donate monetarily or can't donate as much as you would like to. If you are someone who wants to give back from your business or from yourself, and you think that you're at a level that you can't, that can present some problems for you. It can really delay your personal growth. And what I mean by that is giving helps you develop that sense of empathy, that sense of perspective, that sense of feeling like you have a spot in the universe, feeling like you're making a difference. And by delaying giving, you're delaying developing that side of you, developing that feeling of community, that feeling of like you belong or that you're making a difference. And it's important to me. It may not be important to you, but I find it's important to most business owners to feel like they belong and feel like they are contributing to the world around them and feel, a lot of us got into business because we wanted to make an impact. And making an impact doesn't just stop with the customers who are paying you. Making an impact also includes using your influence and your skills for the broader group, for the broader world around you. So by delaying this and by not giving because you feel like you're not successful, you're delaying that personal growth. You're delaying that feeling of being part of a community and feeling like you're contributing. It also contributes to that scarcity mindset. It perpetuates that idea in your head that you just are never going to have enough, which means you're never going to have enough to give to others as well. And by embracing that scarcity mindset, you're really preventing yourself from growing. You're preventing yourself from reaching your full potential, whether you're in your business or not. You're really embracing that idea of, I don't have enough. I'm never going to have enough. I feel like I need more, and it really perpetuates the idea of I don't have enough to give away because I don't have enough for myself. And you're kind of sinking into that scarcity mindset. And you always are going to be faced with that thought. I mean, the reality is, as an entrepreneur, you're almost always going to feel like you're maybe not always, but feel like you're in a scarcity mindset, especially in the beginning, because it does take time for things to start building. And so by delaying that giving for others, because you're in that scarcity mindset, you're perpetuating the scarcity mindset for yourself. And you may find yourself pushing it off to the point where you never feel like you have enough to give. Even when you have enough for yourself, you have enough for your business, you have enough for your family, your employees, whatever. You may always still feel like, well, I still need more before I feel like I can really give in a way that is meaningful to me. But the reality is that small donations make a big difference too. You don't have to be flush with cash to give some away or to find other ways to give. And I keep using the word success, and I use it in quotes for a reason, because success is not always monetary. It's not about how much money you make. It really is dependent on you, and it depends on how you define success for yourself. Are you someone who wants to make a big impact with your clients? Well, finding a lot of clients, making a big impact with them, or not even just a lot, but making a big impact with your clients is a form of success. And it's important for you to understand what success looks like to you, and I would recommend not basing it on money. It's okay to base it on comfort of like, I need to make enough money to be comfortable, but I wouldn't recommend basing it on, I need to make $1 million. That would be successful for me, because by the time you get to $1 million, you've probably built a bigger business, and you're probably actually going to need more than that to be, successful and comfortable and things like that. So that's moving the goalposts. So I wouldn't base success on a monetary number. I would base it more on sort of, what do those numbers give you? What does financial success actually give you outside of just a number on a balance sheet? So if you make $1 million, but your business costs you $850,000 to run, is that success? You have to really figure out what that looks like for you. And remember that just because you may not feel financially successful, you can still give in other ways. You can use your time and your skills to help organizations. I knew a coach once that would use her coaching skills in a domestic violence shelter for women. And she would go in once a week and use coaching skills that we've developed. Specifically, she was an agile coach, and she would actually go in and teach them how to use a Kanban board, which is those vertical columns with the statuses on them. She would teach them how to use a Kanban board to track their daily tasks. And how do you track, moving out of the shelter, finding a job, whatever they needed to do to kind of help build their lives? She would give them tools and use her skills to show them how they can move on. And obviously, it's not taking the place of things like counseling, but she was using her skills as a coach to help those who needed it. And it wasn't a monetary donation. She was giving her time and her skills. So I want you to remember that there are ways to give back, even if you don't feel like you have money to give. I also knew someone who used to help a local animal shelter update their online database all the time. And so that meant that she didn't actually even have to go to the shelter. They would send her the information and she would go in and update the database. And she was a volunteer. And that was another way that she could give back. It wasn't a huge time commitment for her. It was maybe an hour a week, but it was a huge help to the shelter because it meant that their information online was as up to date as possible. And it meant that people were able to see the animals that were available for adoption. And so they were able to get adopted quicker. So that's a great example of someone who was able to give their time and their skills without, giving monetarily. And if you're a coach, you could find a shelter that sort of needs your specific skill set. You can also look for ways to give back in a small, consistent way. Maybe you set up a recurring $10 a month donation to your favorite charity, or maybe you volunteer an hour a week at your local animal shelter. Whatever that looks like for you, that is something you can sustain and actually help them with. I work with the Galveston Humane Society and actually photograph some of their events. Not all of them, because there's a couple of us that kind of trade off, but I go in and I photograph their events. And I did their Mardi Gras parade a few months ago. And it was so fun. I got to, practice my camera skills. I got to hang out with cute animals in costumes. There's lots of different ways that you can find to use your pre-existing skills or develop a new one. I am not a great photographer. We're developing a new one, helping out those organizations in your community in need. And so you can use these opportunities for giving, whatever that looks like, giving of your time, skills, money, early and often to develop your own skills. Maybe you develop your leadership skills. Maybe you take on a leadership role in the organization. Maybe you are working on your problem solving skills. A lot of organizations are limited in resources, so you have to kind of think on your feet. Or maybe it helps you develop your network and your perspectives. Working at the animal shelter, I met a lot of sort of high profile donors that would donate money to the animal shelter. And so, there's a lot of different ways. And I'm not saying that that's the reason that I was volunteering in the animal shelter, but it's a fringe benefit. I was meeting a lot of people in the community. I made some new friends, which was great because I was new to the area. So didn't know anyone. So it was a great way to meet people. And we actually did an event that was a drag show around last Christmas where the drag queens would come out and they helped us raise, a couple $1,000s for the animal shelter. And that was super fun. And I got to meet all the well-heeled people in in the community. And so you make some great organization. You make some great connections that way. So there's lots of benefits for giving and, helping out in your organization. So a lot of benefits for giving and helping out in your community, whatever way that you can. It also can help improve your mental well-being. If you're really struggling in your business, if you're really feeling like you're just not getting traction or the clients aren't coming the way you need them to, or the clients you do have are really annoying and you're frustrated with them, finding another outlet for making an impact and giving to people can be really helpful for making you feel better about your situation and better about yourself and give you a sense of purpose outside of just working and outside of your family and give you that sort of improvement of your mental health that only kind of helping other people can do. If you want to even take it a step further and maybe sponsor an event or sponsor a charity, then, as a brand, that can really help improve your brand name, your recognition. People start seeing you everywhere, and then you're sort of top of mind when they need the services that you offer. And even if you're an online business and you help other online business owners, there's probably other online business owners in your community that would see your sponsorships, your logo, and your information and be like, oh, maybe I need those services. Maybe I need a website, or maybe I need a business coach. So don't think that just because it's like a local organization and you work with people throughout the country, that it's not a good way to increase your brand recognition. It still is. You never know who is going to be in that audience, who might see your brand, see your information, and decide to reach out to you. Not that that's the reason you should do it, or rather, not that's not the only reason you should do it, but it can really benefit you and benefit the charity if you're sponsoring and then also potentially getting clients from it. So, we talked a little bit about different ways that you can give that aren't necessarily money, but let's talk a little bit more about some options. So, you could integrate giving into your business model. You can offer pro bono services to nonprofits. For example, if you create websites, you could find a local nonprofit, see their probably very janky website, and go and offer them a really super simple free website, as a donation for them. And you get the recognition of them probably thanking you and, advertising your services for you. And you get the benefit of feeling good that you've done something to help someone in the community. Now, I wouldn't go crazy overboard with that. Don't offer them like a whole 20-page website, but something simple that you can do that doesn't take up a ton of your time. And remember that you can write this off on your taxes as well as a donation, even if it's a pro bono service. You could also implement a sort of buy one, give one model. So if you offer services that might benefit other nonprofits, you could offer it up in your sales checkout of, hey, I know you're buying this thing. If you wanted to buy a second one, I use the second one to donate it to a local charity in need or a scholarship to someone who can't afford my services normally. This can be really great for more of those low ticket items, or you could also do something like buy one and then also buy like a gift card, or add in this much to donate to a charity of your choice. It doesn't have to be a one for one. So you can figure out different ways to implement that in your business. And then you could also advertise donating a percentage of your profits to an organization that you care about. You can say 10% of all sales from, December 1st to December 31st are going to go to the local domestic violence shelter or to the Red Cross or something like that. Find a cause that you personally care about and then advertise that you're going to give away some of your profits. So that can encourage people to buy more if they know that you're giving away some of your profits. So it's a win-win for everybody. And then like those examples I gave earlier, you can also volunteer your skills. You can offer mentorship to other entrepreneurs. If you're, a little bit more experienced, you can go to local entrepreneur groups and offer your specific skills that you have. Maybe you're really good at marketing. Maybe you're really good at more creative things. You can go in and offer your skills for that. You can participate in skills-based volunteering programs. You can also share your expertise through free workshops or webinars. That one kind of leans a little bit more towards advertising your services, but you could go to a local charity and say, hey, if you already have people coming in and you want to give them something of value, then I'm happy to stand here and do a presentation of some kind. So find an appropriate place to do that. I wouldn't do that like at the local Humane Society. I wouldn't go to them and say, hey, I'm going to go present on running a business. That doesn't really kind of make sense with what the charity is. So make sure that if you're going to do that, that it actually jives with what it is that they're offering and who they're helping. You can also collaborate directly with the nonprofits on a project that you care about. For example, using the Mardi Gras parade example, if I were to go to them and say, hey, I'm going to offer to build, I don't build websites, but I could offer to build their website specifically for the Mardi Gras parade if it is a big fundraiser for them. So I could say, hey, I'll build you out a website for just this specific fundraiser if I can put my logo on there and sort of advertise my services. So it's a win-win for them and for you. You could also offer your services at a reduced rate. If you really feel passionately about the program, but you just kind of can't afford to go away all of your time, you could go to them and give them like a 50% discount or something for whatever services that you offer, if it's appropriate for something that they might need. Like when I was a leadership coach, if I wanted to, I could have gone to the Humane Society and offered up my services for doing like a leadership seminar or something like that. And these are people who are on the board or who know other people on the board. And so that could potentially get me other business. So it's sort of a win-win. You're helping them out with being better leaders in their organization, and you're getting your name out there with sort of the big wigs in the organization and in the community. The key is to just start small with something that you're passionate about and then be consistent with it. Set aside a specific time every week or every month, or set aside a specific amount of money every month or a specific percentage, whatever sort of works for you, and just be consistent with it so that you know that you are making that impact that you want to make on a regular basis. It's also important to understand how important generosity is with how you fit into the world. And I know that that isn't something that everyone cares about, and I will totally admit to that. But if you've gotten this far in this episode, then it's probably something you care about. You probably care about being generous and making an impact in your community and helping other people. And so it's important to understand that everything is connected. What you put out into the universe is what you get back. And personal success is often kind of influenced by things that are out of your control. And a lot of it is in your control, but how people perceive you, what energy you put out into the world, into the universe, those are all things that can come back to you tenfold. And it's all connected. It's important that you're creating sort of a balanced, harmonious existence, and part of that can include giving as part of your business, whatever that may look like for you. It's also really great for your mindset. If you are someone who is constantly feeling like you just don't have enough, you're really in that scarcity mindset, you're really feeling like, oh, I don't know how I'm even going to pay my bills this month. That's a little bit different, but if you're just really stressed about not having enough, giving back can help you actually feel better about it. It can help you recognize what you should be, it can help you recognize what you do have to be grateful for, and it can help you sort of combat that scarcity mindset and understand that, no, I really am living in abundance, even if it's not monetary, even if I still don't feel like I have enough money for everything, I still do have lots of things in my life that I should be grateful for. And by giving, you can actually make yourself feel like you're more abundant, feel like you have more. And it's really interesting how it sort of plays with your mindset, and it can kind of help you get out of that scarcity cycle in your brain. It can also help you shift your focus from what you don't have to what you do have, kind of like what I just said. So never mind. And then by giving either your time or your money or your skills, whatever that looks like, you also influence others to give. If someone sees you giving your time or your money, they may also decide, oh, hey, that's a great idea. I'm going to give to that cause as well. Or I'm going to find a cause that's important to me and give to them. By showing up and showing others how you do it, you're creating an example for others to give as well. And I know what you're saying. You might be thinking, I don't have enough time to give to a charity or time to give my time to someone, and I would encourage you to start small. Start with an hour a month. Everybody could find an hour a month. I know everyone is very busy. I know you may have kids and other jobs and things, but you can probably find an hour a month, and you can make it a family affair. You could bring the whole family down to, just got stuck on that for a second. You bring the whole family down to a family-friendly charity, and everyone can work together. I know that there are some families around the holidays that like to go and wrap presents together or, put together gift baskets for families in need. That's a great one to do. You could get your kids together to maybe donate some of their toys to kids in need. There's lots of ways that you can sort of get your family involved that don't necessarily require a lot of time or money even. And then if you're also thinking, well, I can't afford to give money and that's what they really need. And that's true. A lot of charities really would prefer money, but focus on what you do have. You have skills, you have connections, you have knowledge within you that would be helpful for a lot of these organizations. They're always looking for people to help them build out their offerings, build out their services, build out their infrastructure within their organization. And those are probably things that you can help them with, even if you don't have the money to donate. And finally, if you don't know where to start, just start Googling. Google local charities, Google your name and, a cause that you care about. If you care about animals, if you care about, LGBTQ rights, if you care about voting, if you care about women, whatever it is that you could be passionate about, even if you don't know if you're passionate about yet. I've also volunteered at the local food bank, for an hour every couple months. Like, there's so many different ways to give in your community. All you have to do is do a really easy Google search for charities and for charities in your town. And that's a great way to start. And then you can sort of figure out what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, who you enjoy helping, who you don't want to help. And that will sort of get you started. So remember that giving and success are not mutually exclusive. You can start now, regardless of how much you can give, regardless of what you can give. Starting now is super valuable. And then you can go into the new year knowing that you are set up for success, you have a habit of giving, and you're ready to continue offering up that abundance so that the universe can give that abundance back to you. Okay, my challenge to you this week is to Google and find one charity that you can go and help in your community and find a way to help them, whatever that looks like. Even if it's just committing to the first hour of whatever it is that you're going to be doing. I want you to go out and do that. And a lot of them are probably pretty inundated right now since it's almost Thanksgiving, but go out and at least do the research. And I want to hear from you. I am on Threads. I am most active over there, Lauren G Consulting, and I want you to go and tell me how your giving is going. What are you deciding to do? Are you going to give money? You're going to give time? Have you found a charity that really needs the skill that you have? Whatever that looks like, I want to hear from you. So thank you so much for listening or watching today. I hope that you are enjoying this season. So thank you so much for listening or watching today. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.